Hello and welcome to this race night, everyone, with the Italian special event. This will be all Italian cars at Monza, and qualifying is just starting out here. So let's see if I can keep up with this. This is my first time broadcasting on LMU, so you will have to bear with me. I'm also a new face and voice to most of you, so I hope you will have me. So for these qualifying laps, I do so enjoy an onboard view. So let's hop on board here. I will have to cycle because of the way this works. Times here. Apologies. There we go. And let's get some qualifying info here. So everybody is just on their outlaps at this point. No timers are set, and with the nature of cold tires in these cars, well, we are going to have to wait a lap or two, I would suppose, to actually see any laps being put in of decent time. I mean, that being said, from what I know, this is a quick bunch of drivers we're dealing with here in the Amigos League, certainly from what I've seen. So I'm sure we will see some absolutely flying laps. So here Yanni is just about to start his lap, going around Parabolica. Oh dear, what happened there? Yeah, just about to cross the start-finish line. And here we go. Let's see what he does. Let's talk your way around the lap. This is Monza, a classic track, great. Heavy at the 150 marker, sounded like a nasty lock up there. Hopefully the tires are good for the rest of the session still. He goes with this chicane with another curved straight, so to speak here. It's flat out in a lot of cars, especially these high downforce active cars. Into another chicane coming up, the left, right. Let's see how he does here. Beautiful, tidy. Tires are just about getting ready. They're definitely not ready to go at this point, but he will probably get there. Into the double rights here, which the brain fog on me is completely forgetting the names of. Hopefully someone in the chat can remind me. Going up to Ascari, under the bridge, and look out for your braking marker. Just there. Going to the left and then the long right over the bumps. What's happening here? It sounded like the engine cut out. Maybe it's some fuel saving for quality to avoid carrying more than needed. And another lock up there. Doesn't seem to be the tidiest lap that we're on here. Let's see, we have a couple of laps in from Bono and Adamu, 133.9. Let's hop on board and see if he's going to improve that. So he's just gotten out of the chicane in his Ferrari. It seems he's stopping. Let's find another driver to go on board with here. So the GT3 should be just about getting there. Here we have Adam Lott. Let's see what he does for his first lap, but then again, the tires are not quite ready in these cars. So, let me actually see if I can... no, it doesn't seem I can get the overlay to actually show the times for the GT3s, so it will have to be gaps instead, unfortunately. Well, let's see the Ferrari 296 go around here. Adam Lott, his first lap, clearly being a warm-up lap. Maybe this one he's going to start pushing a little more, as the tires will be getting up to temp. Just enjoy this wonderful noise of the Ferrari 296. It is a great sounding car, isn't it? So wonderful to be the right-handers there. These are private quali sessions, by the way, I should mention, so you won't see other cars and no one will be impeded by traffic. But it also makes it a bit difficult to catch who is on what kind of laps, so bear with me, like I said. Let's see, we're coming up to the final corner, the parabolic here. It's a long and semi-technical corner in this 296. It doesn't have all the downforce in the world. It requires a lot to extract the maximum out of. It looks decent on the exit here. Let's see what time he will set. It's a 150.7. And where does that put him? It puts him in the 2. Yeah, 2 for the GT3s. That's pretty good right there. And I bet this lap will probably be quicker, bar any mistakes, since the tires will definitely be up to temperature by now. I would believe that whatever laps are being started now, and the next ones will be the peaks for a lot of these drivers out here, because the tires are just about getting there. One fun detail about this 296 on the onboard, if you listen, and I don't know if it's only me, and when I'm telling you this, if you didn't know, you can't unhear it. Right when it's about to get to the top of the rep range, it makes a sound that sounds like a Discord notification. I don't know if you heard it there. Let me just be quiet here. There it was. So that's incredibly fun. This legitimately, the first time I drove it on LMU, stressed me out because I thought someone was completely, utterly spamming me on Discord. Oh, the joy. Anyway, we are doing another lap here. I'm not entirely sure how to interpret the overlay colors, actually. If the yellow just means that he is off the fastest, which obviously he is because he's not in a hypercar, or if also means he's off his personal best. I'm not that acquainted with the overlays just yet. Let's see what this lap will be. The 150.5. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's jump on board with our man in provisional pole, Marco Buono. See what he can do. I apologize for these freezes. I have no idea what's causing those. Hopefully it's just people joining in and leaving. Because that does cause the game to stutter for a moment. Let's see what the Ferrari can do here. Go trackside. I've been on board the entire session. It's another great sounding car. From what I remember, the engine is based on the same engine as the 296 road car, and probably a GT3, I would suppose. They do sound quite similar. This one obviously has a hybrid system, but yeah, let's have a look here. He set a best sector 2. Sector 1 was a bit off. Let's see where we go with the sector 3. It's a 33.923. He is 100th off his best, so definitely getting to the point where the tires are at their peak and they are doing their utmost to support the lap time he wants to do. Let's see if he can improve on this, which will be his final lap, or if someone else will be there to take the pole position from him. It's up to do look incredibly quick and fairly close. So this should make for some interesting battles at the front. He's 6.4 off in the first sector. Definitely potential for a fast lap still as he dips a wheel in the gravel. Let's see how he negotiates this double rider. He's bailed out on it. Let's see if P2, who has just started his lap, will have it in him to steal this pole position. So far, the first chicane is negotiated well. There we go, with some onboard telemetry data for you right there. He's a tenth up on his quickest, so there is potential in this lap. Targeting 33.9. Let's see if he can do it. I'll just let you listen to this wonderful Lambo. Oh, it's a spin into Ascari. The drama, the lap. He was very much on target to compete for pole position for sure, but unfortunately it ends in heartbreak. Let's see if we have any drivers out there still doing their laps. Let's jump in with the provisional pole sitter in LMGT3. See what he's doing here. Coming through the final bit of the track, it looks like. Yep, just through Parabolica. Very cool, very tidy. Just using all the track. Let's see what he can do here. He is setting some personal bests in the sectors. The 150.2. Impressive stuff. Very quick guys out there. So everybody is just finishing up their laps, I believe. The session is about to come to an end, and we will be jumping to the race in just a bit. Yeah, looks like just about everyone has finished their laps. Well, let's see what happens when the race session starts. I'll be keeping the camera up front in the hypercars. See what happens with these two quick boys in the beginning. Then we will see what happens in the field from there. I was actually not aware going in because I've done poor prep. And jumped in here spontaneously. I wasn't supposed to be here until the championship starts. Wasn't aware that this was a fully Italian car event as well. That's a very cool idea. Kudos to whoever came up with that. Actually, let me see if I can show you this, actually. Oh yes. Nice one, Chris. This does not look to have data yet. Let me get rid of this overlay for you. I think if I do this, have the starting grid. Marco Bono and Francesco Adamu, I'm sorry for butchering these names, on the first row of the grid. Then on the second row we have two Lambos from Daniel Krebs and Nico Viani. Oh, all BMW, all the sniffing. Row 3, again two Lambos, Hoffman and Luis. Then we have Chris Tedder and Alfredo Atolico. Oh, I'm gonna butcher every single name here. Go me. Let's just go through here, and I won't kill everyone else's names. Sparks and Cox, those are two words I can pronounce. On row 6 here, and then we have our LMGT3s. One from Wachowski on pole, and sorry, totally missed that. I'm not gonna go butchering everyone's names. I'm so sorry. So just 20 seconds to go until everyone needs to grid up. Go to the grid here. As we finish out the starting order, Aaron Holloway.
Formation lap has started.
Here we go. Or what I suppose is a shortened formation lap. The full formation lap is quite long. So let's see what happens here then. Should have a interesting race start. Always is at Monza, isn't it? Hopefully everybody gets away without damage, without injury. That is all you can really hope for at Monza, isn't it? But like I've said, these are a good bunch of drivers from what I've seen. I'm sure they can negotiate.
Green flag, green
There
flag.
we go with the green flag. Let's see what happens now. Everybody's hurling down towards the chicane. Marco holding on to the position very, very well. And, oh, are they going 3 wide? Are we going 3 wide into turn 1? Ah, 2 wide. Let's see. Can they negotiate it? There's one Ferrari with all the Lambos. Oh, there is chaos behind. Let's see if we can catch it. Let's see who it was. Someone's dropping. It was Maggio and Daniel Cox who were involved. Hopefully their cars are okay. Let's see if they're going again. It looks like they are. That sucks for Daniel. And for Maggio, they're going to have to negotiate some GT3s now. Very early on, and that's going to be costly for their race, especially when you have 2 GT3s battling here. These are Adam Locke, or is it Adam? Adam Locke. I'm thinking of Lost, aren't I? As another GT3 is turned around, that is unfortunate to see. Oh dear, it is a bit of a chaotic lap 1 here. Let's get the timing back on the screen now. So we have up front, we have Guano, who has pulled away by almost a second already. That is seriously impressive. Then behind, it's quite close with 6/10 and then 3. It's quite impressive to have pulled away like this already. Let's jump on board with P2. Just trying to keep up, but man, it's fast. Let's hop back to the battle that I see Chris Tedder is in. Did he just make the pass? I think he did. I was too slow. I'm sorry. I will try and do better in the future. It's very, very close here with Luis and Co. Let's see how they negotiate T1 on this second lap. This time around, space is afforded. There's a pass. Looks to be made. And Ferrari jumps in front of Lamborghini. Was it 2 Ferraris that jumped in front there? It is unfortunate to lose out like that, but good racecraft to be following through. Let's see how these 3 do. I'll just make this setup a bit more quick for me here. Oh no, it strikes us off just as I want to jump on board with them. Let's look at this battle from on board. We have Alfredo and Benito fighting it out here for P7, very close out there. And giving the LMGT3s a bit of attention. Looks like we have a battle here with, or am I again too late? I may be. I am incredibly sorry. I'm just gathering my thoughts here. It is admittedly a bit tough to be commentating and controlling the on-screen action at the same time, but I will not complain. This is what I signed up for. Have a look up front here with Gary Bear and Marco fighting it out here. Looks like they are quite close going into the Parabolica. Passing there. It's a sketchy exit we just caught up with, I think, but there should be plenty of slipstream to be had here down the straight. There's a flash ahead. Wonder if that means someone for the hypercar, or if it's a message for Marco, who we are on board with, who has caught up with the slipstream, slingshotting past. Let's see if they can hold on to it. Oh, there's not a lot of room given on T1. Just about keeping him behind, but spinning out Gary Bear. That is unfortunate. Let's hope he is okay and that no one else got hurt in that incident. As we jump to Adorico here, who's also involved in a battle with Hilo. I actually do not know that. I don't have any lightning on that. That would be cool. Here they are, half a second apart. here. Well, maybe not the best of angles. Let's see here. This engine is sounding a bit funny. I don't know what that is all about. Might just be a game issue. As the car hit this in the gravel, let's see if there's a pass to be made. Oh, there is just about enough room. And that is seeming like a throttle pedal or something, or at least the game thinks it is. My part may just be on my side. Hopefully it is. Battle. Let's see what we can do. Have a look at everyone's energy here. Looks like there's some people who have started on more than others, or have saved more than others. Look at Chris Tedder, 78% energy remaining, compared to P1 who has 69%. I wonder if Chris is on a fuel save, along with Ela who has 77%, hoping to maybe shorten their stop, or maybe even doing the whole thing without one. An hour is possibly doable in these very efficient hypercars. I haven't actually tried that myself. It may be, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Maybe we can jump on board with Tedder here and see if we can catch him doing some fuel saving, or what exactly is happening there. I think there must be some issue with the onboards, because there's no way. Why would people be going half throttle unless that is a fuel saving tech in LMU that I don't know of? I will have to consult with people. Hey Gary, see you there in the chat. I thought you were gonna be on track here, mate, but I guess you didn't have time. As we hear a little log up from Chris here. Voice audio is a bit low. I will see what I can do about that. Thank you. For now, I will lower the game volume a little bit, because I don't think I can give my voice more volume without inducing clipping in my microphone. Let me just see if I can do a tiny bit here. Next week, I see you're gonna do the championship then, I assume. Thank you, Gary. Just I had a quick moment to test just before starting the stream, but obviously it was a very quick moment. So, do you know this this half throttle thing that we're observing? This surely is not something the drivers are actually doing deliberately, but must be an issue on my end, right? Because I don't know. Like I said, is it a fuel saving tech? That's all I could think of. If there is something to it. Yeah, I was thinking that with throttle as well. It must be an issue on my end. That's unfortunate, because it does make the onboards a bit meh. As we are actually catching a battle here with Lewis, half a second behind Chris. So maybe there will be some passes to be made here. The reason I was confused, I don't know if you were in the stream at that point. The reason I was confused is if we have a look at the energy graphic here, you will see that Chris has 73% energy remaining, while the leader is at 65%, and the lowest, Mr. Cox, is at 61%. That is quite a delta in energy. So I thought there might be some fuel saving going on. Like I said, I'm not sure if they're hoping to extend the stint to last the full race, or just shorten their pit stops without losing too much time. Time will have to tell. So it looks like the gap is opening up a little bit here. Oops. I think we should have a look at the LMG T3s and see what's going on there. We have a half a second gap here between two names that I will definitely butcher, Bartolucci and Yorio. Sorry, again, surely will butcher the names here. Looks like we also have Gary Bear in the mix here. He's actually caught up after a little moment there. Let's go on board with him, see if he can make some moves. There we go. With the gap opening up to 7/10, maybe thanks to the hypercar passing, but plenty of slipstream to be had here at Monza, and from what I know the slipstream is quite strong in the LMG T3s now. So I would say no one is out. If we jump one car back, we actually see that this is a three-way battle. These three guys are within half a second of each other, competing for P5. Just making room for the hypercars there. The battle that we were following just before, Lewis and Chris. Still trying to get past Chris. Oh, let's see if anything's going to happen into T1 here. I might think it is. We're going side by side. There's a squeeze. Is there going to be room afforded? Oh, barely. But definitely can't make a pass that way. That's going to be a bit too tight. Let's see if there's anything to be done into the second corner. He might not be too happy with that squeeze. As we see a just about dive bomb. Turned into contact. What happened there? It must have been a hypercar going past. It was Gila just not expecting the GT3s to be out of position there, I suppose. That has, of course, put a bit of a spanner in the works for our driver. Just as Vianney has to take avoiding action there. It's a bit scrappy out there. Two different classes, but they want to get past each other. There's a race to be had for all of them. Just Vianney passing another GT3, this time without shoving. That's probably pretty good. Get the tower back on screen. Some flashing to be had, of course. The pole time, Gary, I believe was a 1:33.9. Super quick. Super quick. It was, I think it was a 2/10 gap to P2, and then from there we were over a second between them as they are going side by side into turn 1 with the GT3s there. That gives the position to Vianney, I believe, having boxed the other car in behind the GT3s, and he can take T1 on his own without a car next to him, and the car behind has to deal with the GT3s. So that is a solid pass done. If we jump up ahead to Benito Luis, we see this battle still going on. It's been going on for a while. There's GT3s involved. Stuff is crazy. Let's jump on board with Chris here. Have a look at the following car. See the distance close when we get to the straight. Despite the weird. Oh, that sounded a bit like a small lockup. The rear might have been just about to snap. But he has managed to open up the gap to a second, as we actually have a battle going on in the lead, between Adamu and Guano. Again, probably butchering names. Into T1, getting right up close. Who can have the better exit? That will determine what happens into the next corner. Looks like we have a pretty good exit from Adamu here, but it does look like Guano is getting closer. out of this corner. As the sparks fly off the car, the gap has actually opened up to 0.8 now. Let's see if they can make some up into the corner. As we have another chicane here. We're sitting at a 0.7 gap. As we go just a bit wide over the curb here. Let's have a look at everybody's energy. We're getting about halfway through the tank for some people. Guano has definitely been pushing with 51% energy remaining. Chris, our fuel-saving master, along with Hila, sitting at 60. So the delta is not as big as it has been. Chris was really ahead earlier on in terms of fuel, but it looks like he's picked up, started to push a bit more. It's weird it doesn't show energy for the GT3s actually. That's a bit unfortunate. I'd like to know when they are pitting. Let's have another run into T1 here with a 0.7 gap. See what comes out of it. It'll be a dive from another postcode if anything were to happen. So let's jump back to the LMGT3 action. Aaron Holloway here, who is 0.4, I believe, from Marco ahead. Let's see if there's anything to be done. Whoops. As they're going down the back straight here, plenty of draft, like I've said. So this gap might very well close. Let's see if it does. It's staying consistent, but we do have another straight, provided that Holloway can follow through this corner. That's a small off track, I would think, as we have the hypercars coming through. Oh, they're getting real close now. 0.2. This onboard cycling, it's a bit unfortunate, but let's see here. Is he going for it? He is. Or is he just faking it? He may be. There is space afforded. He got Marco ahead, fearing him, driving in the mirrors. Let's see if he can make something of it here into the second chicane. It looks like Marco has just gained a little bit. The gap is up to 0.3. But maybe there's something to be caught here. Marco just negotiating the chicanes, but going off. That gives Aaron the position up into P2 in LMGT3, and now he has quite a gap to close. From what I can tell here, we are looking at a 20-second gap to P1. That is impressive. If P1 has indeed managed to pull away by that much, and it looks like it, jumping on board with them. Because he is all the way up to the back straight here. That is an impressive amount of time to have gained on your competitors. Of course, we can't tell if anyone is doing some big fuel saving, but for this 1 hour race, I don't think that would be worth it in the LMGT3, as we have a hypercar entering the pit lane here. Wonder if that's for damage, energy, tires. Let's see, I believe it was Hila here. Let's see if we can work out what's happening. We're definitely in the pits. Let's bring up the energy graphic. See if he is topping up. Okay, we can't see that on the energy graphic, but we will be able to see what he comes out of the pits with. So, to check in on our leaders, the gap has opened up to 2.5 seconds. So, our leader, Adamu, is sitting quite comfortable, as you can see. Generally, the gaps on track have opened up quite a bit. There was obviously a solid chunk of chaos, which must have impacted where people are. So Hila is still in the pit. That tells me that there's damage being repaired. Let's go to the gap graphic. Yes, okay. Oh, I see Tedder in the pit. Wonder what is going on with him. Oh dear, that was a big one. Let me see what. Let me see if we can get every. I don't think I can from my control panel here get a replay of that, unfortunately. Having a look at the graphics here, we can see that Holloway has gained drive-through. That is unfortunate. Don't love to see those. You were going well out there. We can see that Mr. Holloway has gained 10 positions in this race. That is quite something. Wonder if he is flying or just has been very lucky when it comes to the damage, or damage carnage is what I meant. And just not been involved, because 10 positions in this field of, is it 16 LMGT3s, I believe? That is impressive to have gained. Just jump on board with the leader here. See just how they're extracting all that pace from the car. It's an impressive gap of 3 seconds to P2. He's just driving in another league. As we come into a scar here, big brake, turn in, use that curb to rotate the car, and out over the bumps. The cars can just about handle it. Use all the track available. Unfortunate with the cut, Chris. Hopefully you can make up what you lost. Let's see. Big brake into Parabolica, trailing off and just getting on the power as it's possible to do so with the traction of the car. And taking this narrow line through. This straight, surprisingly bumpy in these very, very high downforce cars. Brake at the 150 marker, turning left, or hard left, right and then hard left as the GT3 ahead goes off the track. Luckily, no damage to be done with the rejoin here. They're all very safe. Coming up on the GT3 leader and a lap GT3, just negotiating where to go between them and executed quite beautifully. Really dealing well with this traffic so far. Marco is closing the gap a little bit. It's down to 2.5 seconds. Let's see if he will gain time, but definitely not here, getting stuck behind the GT3s, I think. Let's see here. Let's have a look at everybody's energy. We are getting to the stage where it is something they're gonna have to start thinking about. When am I gonna pit? Am I gonna pit early, get it done? Am I gonna extend this tank as long as I can? Of course, generally you want to empty your tank, so you have to be stopped for as short a time as possible. But if you're coming up on a huge group of GT cars, you may want to pit a bit early to avoid them, at least for a bit, and hope that they get out of the way in time. I'm gonna use this race to test and experiment a little bit, as this is a bit special. Let's have a look at this 1v1 battle. So this will be between the car we're on board with and the car ahead. Just see their last laps and the gap. We do see the gap ever so slightly coming down. We're in GT traffic, so naturally the gap is gonna go a bit up and down, depending, like they say, traffic giveth, traffic taketh away. Looks like our Lambo here, Mr. Sparks, got a pretty fortunate run with the Ferrari GT3. Just ever so slightly closing the gap. So we see the last lap times. They're 6/10 apart. So we'll see what happens here. Oh, with a Ferrari rejoining from Gila. But luckily, no damage done. Let's have some LMGT3 action. Have Adriano Gregorelli here, who is 1.3 seconds back from the next car. Let's see if there's anything to be done with that. It is quite a gap in GT3 cars, but everything can happen out there. As he uses every bit of track and then some. And the hypercar leader just flying by here. Luckily for them, on the straight, nothing to be negotiated. So the gap up front is back to, 2.5 seconds. It is going a bit up and down, 3 to 2.5 to 3. I think it's just traffic opening and closing it. Naturally, there's a lot of time to be lost following a GT3 through the corners. Their cornering speeds just aren't what the hypercars are. You would think they have like a bunch less aero. Let's have a look with Krebs coming up here. Krebs, not sure where they're from. Germany, so that would be Krebs, probably. Let's see if he can negotiate these guys. Just up the inside after the corner. Beautiful. And having a wait through this one. Definitely just taking it as free fuel saving. That's the way to go. Don't get too impatient. You're behind a GT. It seems that just the Ferraris having this throttle issue. I will get us away from the onboard cam just because I don't like listening to that. And I'm betting you don't either. Let's see this battle shaping up for P6 as Alfredo is just entering within a second. There is a problem on the exit there for Vianney. Let's see if he can make something of it. They're right up close now. These guys 8 cents apart now. Some dirty air probably made it hard to follow through Ascari. Or not Ascari, the corner before, I'm sorry. This is Ascari. I know my track. Let's see down the straight here. It does look like Alfredo is dropping back off here. Unfortunately. It looked like a battle was shaping up there. But now Vianney is just running away. as they negotiate traffic. Maybe this will bring Alfredo a little back, so he didn't have to follow GT cars through the chicane. We'll have to see how that goes for him. I'm definitely keeping an eye on the gaps. Oh, Sparks is actually caught right up. Let's have a look at this battle, shall we? Oh, that is not going to work out. Diving the GC3 into the chicane there, and as a result, he gets his nose clapped. Doesn't look too bad damage-wise, but definitely puts him out of contention for this battle. That must be a bit of commentator's curse, and for that I apologize. That was definitely not my intent. Let's jump on board with the wonderful sounding 296 here. I do love to hear that car. Really, really well done. I will give you an audio lap here, so I'll be quiet for this lap. Unless something wild happens, you can just listen to this wonderful car. I lied. 2 chicanes, that's all you get. Being quiet for a full lap is it's a long time when you're a yapper like me. Let's go into the double rights. Look like a bit sketch on the brakes, but nothing bad happened there. Let's see how he negotiates. He does use the curb on this exit. I think that's a bit debated whether that is the way to go all the way onto that curb or not. But I suppose these drivers know better than I do. I see a gap opening up, so I wonder... Ah, Gary here is pitting. That explains it. I was wondering if an accident had happened. As the hypercar leader is coming up on some GTs once again. Let's see if he can negotiate them through Parabolica here. The gap is very much closing. This is also a very unfortunate spot to get stuck behind the GT, because they are a lot slower through there. Marco is now at 1.8 seconds. Wonder if he can keep that gap going down, or if it'll go back up now that they are in clear air. Let's see, Marco is now 2 seconds, sorry. Let's see how that gap does. It does look like it may be going down, but we'll see here. Will he get stuck behind this Ferrari? No, he dives in, he wants this. The gap is smaller than it's been in a long time. He does not want to see that climb back up. We are at 1.8 now. Just see them chasing here. Marco dives into Parabolica. You can tell he wants this. He wants this. He is not going to wait for these GTs to be gentlemanly and let him through or to pass on the straight. That we don't have time for that when we are trying to catch a flying Adamu here. Let's see their last laps here. It's 2/10 off from Marco. Just about. That is not the way you want the gap to go when you're catching, but there has been traffic, but traffic may be the reason that it is what it is. It is opening back up here. Let us have a look down the field. Is there any battles to catch? This is actually the closest pair on track right now. So I think we'll stay on board with the leaders for just a bit. And keep an eye on them. Let us have a look at their energy. They are coming down. Some cars entering the single digits, with Chris being at 24%. I suppose he's been in the pits without me noticing. Or he has done some insane saving to be having twice the energy left compared to the leaders. May have switched strategies, may have taken a small amount on a trip through pit lane. Who knows? So with the way the energy is looking at the moment, Marco Guano here is going to be our first pit stopper in a few laps time. And unfortunately, this graphic doesn't work with the GT3s, so I cannot really tell where they how their stops are, when they are, but they should generally last about 45 minutes, I believe, on track, so they should be coming up on their stops as well if they haven't already been in. Great sounding cars, all these, but that generally goes for all the sports cars in WEC, doesn't it? Let's have a look here. The gap is actually as low as it's been for quite a while. We're down to 3/10. The lights are being flashed. There's pressure being put on left and right, following right into Parabolica. Oh, he is gaining through the corner, but how are the exits gonna be? It's gonna be close enough for a solid slipstream, I'll tell you that much. Let's see into T1 what's gonna happen here. This is the battle for the lead. Oh, and he is defending, trying to go around the outside. Oh man, they are so close out there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a pass for the lead. That was a 3-second gap turned to nothing. They're still side by side though. This battle is not over. They're coming into the next chicane, and it looks like Adamu is way quicker through here. Just flying up the inside, taking the inside line. Can we do anything? No, but the gap is still so tiny. Are we going back side by side now? It does look that way. Going through the first right-hander. And we have a position swap again. Sorry, this is the wrong car. Let us jump on board here. See what we can do. Surely this battle is still not over. The gap is up to 3.5 tenths. So there is definitely some gains being made out of the corners by this Lamborghini. As they get a yellow flag, that's a GT3 stop. Hopefully this rejoin is safe, and it is. Oh, that is not the fastest Parabolica. That will lose some time, I believe, as the gap climbs to 8 tenths. Let's see here. Let's get the timing tower back on screen. And actually, again, what I am super interested in is the energy remaining. That is something, yeah, I believe I can only see by actually showing it to you guys. So there we go. We have 4% for the leaders, we have Krebs in the pits, and yeah, it looks like we are about to see some stops here. So who will get who through the pit lane? It's gonna be interesting. This lead battle is still very, very hot. Let's see here. Traffic is just going to play a crucial role. You may see them stop this lap, maybe next lap. It's not going to be a long time until they have to stop for their what's that going to be? 18 minutes of fuel maybe. If they stop now, that is. Let's see if they dive into the pit lane or if they can extend by another lap. It should be an interesting cycle of pits here. They are both diving into the pit lane. Let's see who comes out victorious from this pit stop. This will be a game of chicken. Who dares take less energy for track position now? Of course, you need to be able to finish your race. But if you can come out and keep the other car behind, granted, it's gonna be tough if you have to fuel save on a track like this. So let's see how these stops change things up. Yeah, I think all the hypercars are gonna be diving into the pits now. Let us take this time to look at these two GT3s battling each other. And we have the leaders coming out of the pits just now, and it's still with Marco in front. I doubt they've taken tires, it's just going to be fuel, and then run to the end. Damn, it does look sketchy on the corner exits. I wonder if he's abused his tires a bit to get that lead he had in the beginning. What has happened there. But with that said, let's give these two GTs a bit of attention. This is the battle of P4, and they are just following super close. Let's see if I can keep an eye on both of these battles. Give you the timing as well. There you go. Oh, these guys are getting so close. 3/10. Let's see here. Corner exit, just going to Gregorelli. But we have Parabolica coming up, and we have a load of slipstream to be had. Winning out on the entry. Let's see. Oh, Gregorelli is pitting, so that is a free position, so to speak. As Chris comes flying by in his Ferrari. Let's have a look at these two, Justin and Daniel. They are battling for P3, last step on the podium. Yes, and it just goes a bit wide. But coming down the straight, the gap is 7/10. I suspect that might close up a little bit with the slipstream, but not enough for a move to be had. Very strong on the brakes though. Oh, that's a log up ahead. And P3 and both two Lamborghinis cutting their chicane there. That is what happens. Just giving you an idea of how bumpy Monza really is with this onboard cam here. You can see the front of the car actually jumping up and down. It's not as flat as some people think. As we take every bit of track available on the exit of Ascari. Let's see how parabolic it goes for these guys then. We're just within a second. Depending on this corner. Might be a tiny bit of dirty air there. But we could see some gains or some losses depending. And it looks like it's a slight loss. But not enough that can't be recovered with a bit of slipstream. And Chris didn't get fuel. That is a disaster. Doesn't sound like he is having the race he was hoping to have, with no fuel and a drive-through and extra stops and oof. That's not the race you would have wanted, I bet. But hopefully nothing that will happen to you during the championship. That is, yeah, the Ferrari strategy. Even though you're in a Lambo, aren't you? No, you are in a Ferrari. But that answers what happened then. Let's see Hoffman and Krebs here. Just getting very, very close again. Does look like the tables have turned up in the lead though. Francesco Adamu and Marco Buono are now 2 seconds apart. With Adamu being the former leader, obviously. So it looks like Buono has found some pace and is running away, or maybe Adamu has lost some pace. Not easy to tell. Oh, it's just a small log up that snaps out the rear. Oof, just about clean. A bit of a tap. Caps is not happy with that. Quite a bit of time from that tap, but this car was out of control, so it's wouldn't have been easy to avoid. And they're going to turn back up. Graphic here showing us that Holloway is up to 12 positions gained, and he's super impressive in this field. Hoffman has gained 2, or perhaps has lost 1. He'll probably want that P3 back, and that's why we see him pushing so hard. Let's see what happens into Parabolica here with 6/10 between them. Just taking the widest line you can, with the GT3s coming up, taking a bit of slipstream, back in, around them. Will he make it before Holloway here? That is doubtful. Will he dive in? No, he will keep it clean. This corner is so slow anyway that your minimum speed is practically the same. He's hoping for a bit of room on the exit, but has to take it himself. None given by the GT3. He stayed on his line. So the gap has opened up to 1.3 seconds now. Hopefully for Daniel, he'll be able to catch that back up. So we have the Battistelli, Gregorelli, battle here, which is still going on. Just slowed down a bit by a hypercar, I think. But we're still within a second of each other. It's been a full race affair, this. Have a look here. Let's join back in with the leaders. It looks like the gap has closed a bit. Maybe there's still a battle for P1 to be had here in these closing 10 minutes of the race. Has everybody gotten enough energy, gotten the strategy right? See, Krebs has certainly got a boatload. The leaders here have a 3% deficit in P2's favor. So that's how he was not able to jump in the pits. So wonder if Guano is actually gonna make the end of the race, or if he will need a bit of a splash. They've definitely fueled for a different number of laps. I would say the leader has taken 1 lap less than Adamu. Aggressive strategy might work. As the leaders here are interrupted by a lap hypercar. Hopefully that won't break up this battle they've been having, because it was a great battle for position. Let's jump back to Krebs here. He is very close to his the P3 he might think is rightfully his. He is right there, isn't he? Let's see over the line. Into turn 1. Gap ever so slightly coming down. Is he gonna go for it? Oh, he's gonna have to at this point, isn't he? He's showing his nose, flying in. Oh, that is just about room afforded there, but not gonna keep the position. Hoffman squeezing him out of the road. He's not happy with that, giving him another flash. Daniel is not happy with the defense in front of him. Is losing a bit of time as a result of that. Have a look at their last laps. It's just a bit in Daniel's favor. I think he definitely wants to be further up the field than he is, but it is hard to pass. It is hard to follow in these hypercars with the dirty air. As he gets stuck behind the GT3, that just gives him room to go by. He's not gonna risk anything. So P6 man, GT3. Wonder what happened to him. He was very close to the car ahead for a lot of the time. Let's get back with these two though. Coming out of Ascari with 3.5 tenths between them. What can you do with that? There's 2 giant pieces of slipstream to be had, which will help him close this gap, but definitely not a move to be done into Parabolica. Taking the wide entry and wide exit, just hoping to build up a little more momentum than the car ahead, but that does not seem to have worked out. I would guess that the slipstream can kind of cancel that out though, but definitely not going to give him a move into T1. Then again, early brakes from Hoffman. They are right up against each other now. Just testing the gravel once again. It's still there, still works. Hopefully. Coming up on these 2 GT3s. It's gonna be close. Looks like Hoffman is going to get the corner. but he's also behind a GT, so he's not really gonna win out. That's lucky for Daniel. It's super, super close out there. Let's see. Oh, that's a big, big lockup. Maybe Hoffman braked harder than Daniel expected there. Just coming out behind this GT3 Ferrari. They are neck and neck, these guys. It's a close, intense race. As he goes wide on the entry here, Daniel just about having to get it stopped a bit more than he wanted to. It is super close going into turn 1 here. Tiny, tiny gaps. Man, this is a great battle going on out there. Let's see what happens. We have 3 minutes to go. I do want to show other drivers naturally, but I am afraid to leave this. We might miss the key move. Oh, we are just right on him. As Daniel goes a bit wide, he is getting very, very eager. He wants this position, he wants this podium. He has only a couple of laps to do it with 3 minutes to go in the race. There's everything to be won, everything to be lost. See into Ascari here. Oh, it looks like Daniel has a way better exit. Gonna be side by side here. Will he make it past in time for Parabolica? Looks like they're gonna go in fairly side by side there. Oh, just cutting off the nose of Hoffman, but that will secure him P3. Might be a bit of I wasn't happy with you cutting my nose off, so I'm gonna give you a bit of the same from Daniel there. Definitely close. Maybe even a bit too close for comfort. 2 minutes to go. These guys are still neck and neck. The lockup from Hoffman. He is now the follower. So he definitely has it all to do. Let's jump to David Pace. He's Italian. Who is very close to Aaron Holloway ahead. Keep in mind Holloway, the guy who has gained Lord knows how many positions through this race. Let's see what is going to happen down this back straight. With a hypercar coming in, might that affect what happens here with the GTs? Cups has just opened up the gap comfortably up to a second with Hoffman, and the leaders are still second and a half apart. Let's see down the straight here. With Pache getting a bit of slipstream, but they also have a hypercar to contend with. That's getting very, very close. It's gonna compromise Pache as they went in semi side by side. Hypercar flying past there. The gap opens up to 7/10. Oh, there has been a switch of leader. Back to Adamo right there. I think there's an unhappy GT3 cluing us in that he had something to do with it. Let us see here, we have 7 seconds to go. Will that give us just about another lap? Some GT3s were definitely counting on the race being over on account of the pit lane. Looks like we are just getting another lap. Oh, and there's a spin behind for Buono. That is so unfortunate. Has been in the lead, or almost in the lead, for the whole race, and it looks like he is just about to lose everything. if he doesn't get that car going. There's a GT3, very unhappy there. I wonder what happened, or if maybe Buono took the flag? Oh, I guess the leaders did take the flag there. That is my bad, it wasn't showing up on my graphic. Let's see, do we have any dramatic last lap battles to follow? I think we're going back to Pache here. Just coming over the line in P3. Very respectable result. The podium here. Looks like we have race over here. Let's see, can I? That is practice. That's actually not what we're interested in. We cannot show the race results just yet, as the last cars are crossing the line. It is unfortunately a bit hard to keep up with who is still racing. I believe we have someone here who just about didn't get lapped for the last car coming over the line. And there is our race over. Congratulations to Adamo getting his lead back just in time on the last lap from Marco. Very, very impressive battle those two were having, especially yeah. And congratulations to Krebs for his podium that he was fighting hard for most of the race. Let's see if I can get you some results on screen. I'm just learning to navigate this. Thank you, Chris. That is a big compliment. God, I am fiddling here. Do we have results? We do have race results. Let us get those on screen then. So in P1 we had Francesco Adamu with Marco Buono coming in half a second later. Then we had the battle with Krebs and Hoffman coming in. And then we had Benito Luis, and everyone else managed to get lapped during this race. So we have Nico Viani in P6, Alfredo Attolico in P7, Aaron Sparks in P8, Chris Tedder with his messed up pit stop in P9, and that rounds out the hypercar grid, with Stefano Polchowski taking P10 overall and P1 in the GT3 category. Congratulations to him. I can cycle this manually, that is cool. Then we have Aaron Holloway, who was, again, like he was up like 12 laps last time we checked. Very, very impressive run from him. David Pache rounds out the LMGT3 podium, with then Simone Ioro in P4, Adriano Girelli in P5, Cesare Battistelli? Yes, Cesare Battistelli in P5, Gary Bear in P6, Stuart Cherry, Luca Bartolucci and Adam Locke round out our LMGT3 finishers, with the rest of the field unfortunately getting a DNF or DQ. Can we cycle over just to get everyone on screen? Nope, because then the server shut down. Thank you so much for tuning into this race. I hope it has been bearable to listen to my yapping here. I'm also just, like I said, getting to know these broadcasting tools myself, and it was good to have a little practice run here. Well done to everyone who raced, and like I said, thank you so much for watching here. I will be here for most of the championship rounds. I cannot promise I will be here for every round, but I will definitely be here for every single round that I can, following the great racing out there. Thank you for the compliments, Alan. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm gonna leave you with that. Hopefully you enjoyed the race, and I'll see you again in a week for the first round of the championship, if I remember correctly. Before I make any promises, I will have to check, or Chris will have to fact check me in the chat if he's still there. I do want to shout out the next race just before I end the stream. But I do believe it is next week, isn't it? Amigos. There we go. It should be on Thursday, shouldn't it? All right. Let's see. I think I found it here. No, that is the 27th. That is definitely not. If that's the championship, that's definitely not in a week. But yeah, I will be around for the Amigos races. Hopefully, like I said, thank you for tuning in. It's been enjoyable to yap for you guys. Yeah, see you next time. Next week is Spa. Thank you, Alan. I definitely need to just get into things here. Thank you. Yeah, that'll be it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you when I see you.